and then 11 is with the yellow flashing, and then solid green is 12, and there's 13, and 14 is the flashing yellow, there's 15, there's 16, was that the same? Oh, it was dimmer in the center, that was the difference between the two. 17, and that's the first page. Where's the button again? It's easy to get lost. I put it here, but it's not like that's pretty good. It's easy when you can see it. I said, what was that on 17? Here's 18, which is solid. 19 is the whole thing flashing. 20 is one side to the other, and 21 is that. Now you actually have more for 25, 26, and 27, but those are turn signals only. So the first two buttons will only do those 24. So in order to get the last ones, you're going to have to do one of the last buttons, and that's what I had for that. So let me go back to the button here, and then I'll be able to show you when you actually get to the turn signals. So I'm going through all the modes again. There's your one of your turn signals. That is 22. Actually, that looks like 25 on here. 26 and 27. Okay, so with you can only do that with the number 3. We'll only do the third trigger is the only one that'll do that one. You need the fourth trigger to do the earlier ones. Give me a second. I promise you it'll come around.
But that's one of the things with the light. You got to go through all of the settings in order to get to the one that you want.
So the other one was 22. This is 23, and this is 24, and then you're back to 0. So let's say that you're writing during the day. That's your number. That's your day position right there. So that's one of your triggers. If you're writing during the day, you can change that. Say you're going to write at night, so you want it on dim. Okay, so that's your normal. Let's go all of them. Let's do it that way so I can show you. Okay, so there's normal. Your normal writing at night, as if you had your lights on, but it's not a brake light. And there's my actual brake light. But I'm going to switch that. And you got to go through all of them to get to that one again. So I'm going to do the same one again, but just brighter in the center. Do all of them bright. There we go. So now there's your regular running light, and there's your brake light. Okay, so that's 2 done now. So now if you want a turn signal, you're going to have to get to where the turn signal is. Maybe I'll edit all this out.
No, because you want to show the people it going through the different.
Okay, so we'll say actually
phases.
that I like that as a turn signal. So there's one of your turn signals, and turn it off, and it's back to normal. And now your other one. Now you get to your other turn signal. I'm doing this kind of quick, just hitting the button pretty quick. Now, most of the time you won't have it set up with the button on it unless you do what I did, and I'll show you what I did in a minute. Okay, so now we have them set. So I turn that off. All right, so if you want to run this as your normal running light, there's your running light. There's your brake light. There's one turn signal. Turn that one off. and there's your other turn signal. There's your 4 modes, and that's it. So can you use it as a chase light then? Pretty much no. No, you can't. That's still on the brake light. Now if I switch this to my other, now I switched it where I can actually use the brake light itself. I have it set up like that, but I have to have the key in it for that. I don't have the lights on, do I? No. Alright, so now I hit the brake.
Yeah,
There we go.
yeah. And that's with all of the brake lights
Yeah,
coming on at the same
I have
time.
it set up that way. Where, so let me switch it back. And now it's back on this thing. Now I can switch that from my second mode to my third or my fourth. But like I said, if you want a brake light, if you want turn signals, there's your 4. Your 4 are gone. You can't use it as a chase light. I mean, I guess you can. It's a bitch and brake light and turn signals if that's what you want. But you know.
Yeah, if you want to use the other colors, then you got to go through the whole system again.
But that's not exactly what I'm saying though. What I'm saying is then it's no longer a chase light. It's like a third brake light.
Yeah.
And that's the only. You know, if you want to use it as turn signals, you got to get rid of something else. So I'm not exactly crazy about that. Let's see that, and then your brake light in the center. But I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you can do with it. I mean, anyway, I went through the modes, but you can change it. Let me shut that off. And turn this on, and I'll show you the way I hook this up. Let me get this out of here. Alright, you can hold on to that one, I'll grab the other one. So, what I did is I set this up underneath this fender. I'll leave this light on. Did I not put it on bright enough? There we go. Got on brighter. And this is what I did. So I made this plate fits in this location that's pretty much useless at any other time. I mean, you do have to take the shoulder bolster off, but once you put the seat belts in it, the shoulder bolster, you don't even really use that anymore. And what I did is I set this up. There's my button here. It'll change the modes. It gives power to the yellow. It's just a temporary on. And then this is my switch. It's just a marine switch that goes from and if I switch it up, it goes back to the aux beam controller. If I switch it up, it's to the brake light. It's to my pedal. If I switch it down, then I think it's that. That's one of those. Well, I mean, I just did this last weekend, so I don't really. What I ended up doing, because I mounted this here, I just put this piece of Velcro on it because I was afraid this clip is a little bit cheap. Just in case, I don't want that. And it fits underneath the fender. You can't see it. It's completely out of the way. Everything is beautiful. And you can see all the wires are there. The black and the red are to the first circuit. Well, actually, the first one goes to my flags. And then the second circuit is for the normal running light. And then the white is to the brake light. The green is to one of the turn signals. I mean, the blue is to one of the turn signals, and the green is to the other. And it was actually pretty painless. I mean, I did have it in the house, and I did play with it for quite a while before, I actually brought it down. I have dang it, from 120 to 12 volt. I have a transformer that's set up. Yeah, why are you smiling at me like that? Yeah, I do know. But I'll show the available modes. But anyway, it's actually, I was having a lot of trouble when I actually bought it at first, thinking, would it be worth it? Is it worth it? And actually, yeah, it is really cool.
Nothing really cool.
What was that, Doctor?
Yeah, nothing.
But I wonder, should I show that coming out? Actually, maybe I should. Maybe I'm not done in here. Well, I can edit all this
Yeah.
stuff out,
Yeah.
back, together,
Yeah.
or who knows, maybe I'll just leave it long.
Yeah.
What the hell do I know?
Yeah.
I'm just some clown who did this myself.
But you think about it, because a lot of people that edit the videos, you don't see all of the stuff that they actually went through to install something. And that, I think, is pretty funny, because everything, oh, it's only 15 or 20 minutes until you start taking it out. And then once you start taking your buggy apart, then 3 hours later, you got a 15-minute video.
Oh, you're right. But anyway, what I ended up doing was I ran this stuff into these plugs here. Now I can unplug this really quick. That's hard to do with one hand. I'm gonna set this down. Okay. So this is now unplugged. And I put this on magnets. Unfortunately, very strong magnets. There we go. And all of it is wired into here. Into this waterproof case. And there we go. Now I try to keep all the wires the same color. This little red goes to that, the red button. And that's to the yellow. I don't know if you can tell the smaller wires. They go to the yellow. And then I just chase it off of the red, which has to have power to it for it to run anyway. Now these other two here that are coming out, those are going to the switch that goes from my tail light or the actual buttons themselves. So I can set it up on the button, but like I said, if I don't like it on space number 2, which how I have it wired now, then I can just move these down. I left extra in here where I can move them down. But anyway, but I needed something waterproof and secure.